You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is August 1st, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Wednesday. First thing to know is markets await Fed policy statement. The Federal Reserve is expected to keep interest rates unchanged at the conclusion of its policy meeting this afternoon. But solid economic growth combined with rising inflation are likely to keep it on track for another 2 hikes this year, even as President Donald Trump has ramped up his criticism of its push to raise interest rates. The Fed will announce its decision at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and release its accompanying rate statement at the same time. No press conference is scheduled, and only minor changes are anticipated compared with the Fed's June policy statement, which emphasized accelerating economic growth, strong business investment, and rising inflation. Second thing to know today is U.S.-China trade war is back in focus. Conflicting signs over the state of U.S.-China trade relations pulled markets in opposite directions. A Bloomberg report on Tuesday said that the United States and China were seeking to resume trade talks to defuse a battle over import tariffs. However, later reports that the Trump administration plans to propose tariffs of 25% instead of the initially proposed 10% on $200 billion of imported Chinese goods, injected uncertainty back into financial markets. Third thing to know today is Apple in touching distance of $1 trillion after the earnings beat. Apple shares rose 3.7% in pre-market trade to $197.34, a record high, putting its market capitalization at $954 billion. The stock would need to hit $206.49 for Apple to become the first publicly traded U.S. company to cross the $1 trillion threshold, based on Apple's share count at the end of the quarter. Apple may have reduced its share count since then. The fourth thing to know today is U.S. stock futures point to a mixed open. U.S. stock futures pointed to a mixed open with technology shares set to get a boost as sentiment improved after results from tech bellwether Apple topping Wall Street forecasts. Fifth thing to know today is Tesla results highlight another busy earnings day. Tesla results are due out after the market close, and there'll be a main focus on the earnings calendar in what should be another busy day of corporate earnings. Wall Street analysts expect the company to report an adjusted loss per share of $2.78 on revenue of $4.03 billion. As has been the case in previous reports, analysts have been squarely focused on the Model 3, as well as its cash burn and potential capital needs in the coming years. Bloomberg, citing sources, reported earlier that the company plans to invest $5 billion building a factory in China, as the trade war with the U.S. makes establishing production in the world's fastest growing auto market more imperative for the electric car pioneer. Our second story today is from CNBC.com. Weekly mortgage applications to buy a home hit the lowest level in a month as rates continue to rise. The highest interest rates in about a month and high home prices took their toll on the mortgage business last week. Total mortgage application volume slipped 2.5% from the previous week and 12% from a year ago, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association's seasonally adjusted report. While homebuyers are less sensitive to weekly rate moves, mortgage applications to buy a home fell for the third straight week to the lowest level in a month. Application volume for homebuyers was down 3% for the week and just 1% higher than a year ago. Home sales have been weakening for months as high prices hit affordability and low inventory limits choices. Our third story today is from CNBC.com. China's Huawei pulls ahead of Apple to become the number 2 smartphone seller in the world. Apple reported strong results for its fiscal third quarter on Tuesday, but the iPhone maker lost its position as the world's number 2 smartphone vendor, according to multiple analyses. Research firms International Data Corporation, Counterpoint Research, IHS Markit, and Canalys all reported that Chinese smartphone maker Huawei leapfrogged Apple to second place based on the number of devices both firms shipped in the quarter that ended on June 30th. According to preliminary IDC data, Huawei shipped about 54.2 million handsets for the quarter, registering a 40.9% year-on-year growth. Meanwhile, Apple shipped about 41.3 million units for 0.7% growth against the comparable year-ago period. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use. For today, Wednesday, August 1st, 2018, your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.